Hey there, gang. Good Friday morning to you. We've got a lot of questions about tipping this week. So we're going to go into who should you tip, why should you tip, when should you tip, and how much. Let's talk about tipping. Tipping in Vegas or casinos is and always will be optional. You are not obligated to tip anybody. All right? So don't feel like you have to tip somebody just because that's the standard. In Europe, they do not tip. All right? So just try to think about that. We are a tipping society here in America, especially in Vegas, where the greasing the palm is as natural as, you know, ordering a free drink, playing dice. All these things are just sort of the way Vegas is. Tipping is part of Vegas, it's part of the culture in Vegas. And so that in itself is super something to keep in mind, super important to keep in mind. So here's how I'm going to go about it. I'm going to tell you what I do as I'm coming into a casino. First thing, whoever's helping me with my bags. All right. Now, if it's, let's say, taxi driver helping me with my bags, that's a couple dollars per bag, $2 per bag. They're just putting on the curb. The bellhop who takes my bags to the room, that's $5 a bag I'll do for that. All right. Most of the time, I'm taking my own bag to my room because I'm not fancy enough to have a bellhop do it. But when I get to the counter, when I get to the check-in desk, you've all heard about the $20 sandwich trick. And that's a big thing that I'll do almost every time, especially if I'm there for a long period of time. I'll put that $20 between my ID and my credit card and be like, I'm checking in. Yes, I would like an upgrade if you have one available. My room preference is I'd rather have a better room than a better view. Some people really want that strip view. I want the better room with the jetted tub. So next we have, and this is going to be controversial right here, drink waitresses, your drink hosts, your drink servers. Now they work hard, okay? They're walking the floor constantly, and it is a deserving thing to tip them. I tip $1 to $2 per drink. That's the way I do it. I know some people tip $5 per drink, $10 per drink. That's up to you, but $1 to $2 a drink is a very good wage. So lots of myths around the drink servers. They have to pay for the drinks themselves. They do not. Those drinks are part of marketing. They don't have to get paid for the drinks themselves. They're having to front the cost for those. No, that's also not true. Same thing, paying for themselves. They're paid below minimum wage. No, that's also not true. They're paid well. They're paid, like other staff are. They do share tips, and I'm going to get into that closer to the end of this here. So when I see a drink hostess come by, I am tipping $1 to $2 per drink, depending on that drink hostess as well. If they're doing great, I will tip more. If I'm getting drinks faster, obviously I'm going to tip more. I don't want them to keep coming by me. So then we come to something like your housekeeper. Housekeeping to me is a very good subject. I know you guys know that I love my towels. I tip housekeepers $5 to $10 a day that I'm there. Now, this is based on service, just like everything else. I want to make sure I'm getting good service, and so I want to make sure to leave them a note. And I'm going to say, hey, I need a few extra towels. Here's $5 extra. I need to have, this replaced in my room. Here's $5. Same thing if I'm having someone bring up something to me. I need a couple extra pillows, and I call up to the front desk. I'm going to have a few dollars, maybe $5 for the guy who's bringing them up, because that's going out of your way to give that to me. Yes, it's part of their job, but their job is not running up the stairs to get me pillows as fast as I want them, okay? So I reward that. The unsung hero of the casino is the custodial staff, whether they are on the floor cleaning, whether they are your bathroom attendants cleaning. I always make sure if I see someone doing a good job, slip them a couple extra bucks as well. I think it's real important for these jobs that get almost zero recognition. Most of the time, we don't even see the custodial staff. They're doing their job. They're emptying the trash. They're taking care of those ashtrays. They're cleaning up for you in the bathroom, which you got to admit, that's a hard job right there. And that deserves a little extra recognition, in my opinion. So then you have dealers. Dealers is where I am a very adamant about That is your opinion. That is your feelings on whether you're not to tip a dealer. I will tip a dealer if I am doing well. I'm not obligated to tip a dealer because here's the thing. They're never going to give you that money back if you're doing bad. So you have to think about it that way. Let's say the game of blackjack. The dealer is doing nothing for you. Now they might be friendly. Tip on that. Tip on if you feel that that dealer is adding to your experience. Me personally, roulette and craps is where I tip dealers because they are very active in the whole thing. Roulette is the only dealer in the house where they actually can dictate the outcome. So I definitely tip the roulette dealer a little bit more, especially when you look at roulette and craps. There's a lot going on, a lot of pays going on. They're doing a good job, and it's a hard job to do. Slot attendants. Now, this is always a thing. When you get a hand pay, all right, that's a big thing right there. People always want to know, well, how much do I give them? You don't have to give them anything. That's up to you, all right? My personal rule of thumb is I do $20 or 1%, all right? So if, let's say, a jackpot's $1,200, I'll give them $20, especially if they've given me good service. If I don't get good service, if they're not friendly, I don't feel obligated to tip. I would never will feel obligated to tip for someone who is not giving their best. Tipping is a reward for your service, for your customer service, and always tip on those guidelines, all right? Do not feel obligated to tip anyone. That is up to you. That is your money, and that money is not coming back to you, all right? So always keep that in mind. Now we're going to talk about shared tips. Almost everyone in a casino shares tips with everyone else on their level, okay? So let's say you're tipping the waitress that's bringing you a drink. They share their tips with the barmaids, the bar, if there is a bar. Now, a lot of times there's an automatic robotic bartender. So that's something to think about. But you're also splitting that with custodial staff. They split that with other members of the different, organizations there that take care of the place. Slot attendants will split with pretty much everybody on the floor because it's all a joint thing. Even if people aren't working that day, a lot of times the way the split works is they're getting some of that money. So think about this real clearly. Now, you could be a little creepy and say, hey, I want to tip you, but can I tip you when you're off work? They might be a little wary of this. So, if you have a good relationship with somebody, absolutely do this. If you don't have a good relationship, don't be creepy and do that. Just tip them directly and just say, the split happens. One last thing I'm going to hit to is tipping your host. If you have a host, if you're fortunate enough to have a host, you can tip if you want, but they're making money on you being present, on you gambling. So their tips are essentially your play. Don't feel obligated, but if your host has gone above and beyond for you, definitely tip them. I have never had a host go above and beyond for me, so I've never been in the situation to tip them. I've never met my host either, so that's kind of, negates the whole fact of tipping. Just remember, tipping is up to you. But Vegas, to me, is tipping. It's the greasing the palm. It's the gratuity. It's, you're doing a great job. Here's a couple of dollars. Especially that guy in the bathroom cleaning, or that lady in the bathroom, your bathroom attendant. A couple of dollars to them with the literal job that they have, a couple extra bucks, $5 means a lot to them. It's not just the fact that you're giving them a few dollars. It's the recognition that they have done a good job. A lot of times they're constantly mopping the floors. They're keeping the place dry. Maybe they're handing you towels. Some of these attendants have, especially in some of the nicer places, they'll have mints and all that stuff. They're doing that themselves to make a better bathroom because they are proud of their job. Recognize that hard work. No matter what the position is, whether it's a waitress, whether it's a bar staff, whether it's wait staff, whether it's a slot attendant, custodial staff, if they're giving you good service, tip them. Recognize them for that hard work. And I hope this tip helped you a lot. The tip of the tips. We'll see you next week on Monday. We're going to have more great tips for you soon. Remember to keep out for some great videos coming. And also check out our store. We got a lot of great stuff, and we're recently restocked on timer boxes. Gamble smart, gamble safe. More coming at you soon.